Welcome to Mission Ready Society. I'm your host, Oren Price, and in today's video, we're talking about the best budget battle belt setup, in my opinion. It's been a little bit since I've kind of reintroduced who I am, so I wanted to do that in this video. So if you haven't seen the introduction video to this channel, my name is Oren Price. As I just said, I am a current member of the Army National Guard, and I'm a 12 Bravo, which is a combat engineer. So so basically I blow stuff up in simple terms. But other than that, I love the outdoors, I love survival, I love firearms, I love tactical gear, all of that type of stuff. So that's kind of who I am and what I like and kind of why I do this. But yeah, as I mentioned, today we're talking about battle belts and more specifically talking about a budget setup, and kind of what I think is a good option for the money for this battle belt setup. So without further ado, let's get into the setup itself. All right, so this is the battle belt setup that we're going to be talking about today. I've been running this for a little bit now. I like it really well. It's a great multi-purpose setup. And we'll get into that more later on in this video. But first, I want to talk about kind of the different components of battle belts. Each battle belt is going to be a little different in design, but they're all kind of essentially the same kind of idea. So some of the older like battle belt style setups are big and bulky, and they kind of have like a suspender deal that goes over your shoulders. But this is more lightweight and kind of what I like more than those old styles, which are kind of being phased out, we'll say. But essentially, most battle belts, sorry, it's kind of loud. Most of the battle belts you see people running have this system with a inner belt and a outer belt. The inner belt is flexible, and this is what goes through your pant loops. As you can see, I'll come closer here. You can see the Velcro. But yeah, so essentially this goes through your pant loops, and this is what kind of acts as like a traditional belt, and it just kind of Velcros to itself. And then the belt itself has the reverse side of that. So it has the loop side of the Velcro, and essentially this inner belt just attaches directly to this inner belt here, as you can see. So the outer belt just goes like that, straight onto the inner belt, and then it holds it in place. This outer belt is more rigid, so it's more solid, which gives it a sturdier design. So that kind of is how this battle belt works, and this is what we're going to be talking about in the video today. But essentially, yeah, so that's how this works. I will demonstrate now how to put it on. So essentially, I just have a standard pair of pants here. You know, you use whatever, but as long as it's got belt loops, of course. But you're gonna take this inner belt here, and you're just gonna put it through your pant loops. Do that real quick. All right, now that we have that, you're just gonna take it, and I could trim this, but you're gonna Velcro it to itself just like that. And I like to kind of tuck this back through the loop here, just to kind of give it some of that extra security so it doesn't come undone. I can get it through here. Oh, come on, there we go. Just like that. And now you have your inner belt, helps keep your pants up, obviously. And then you take your outer belt here with all your fancy dancy gadgets, and you take it and essentially line it up on the back here, and then you just come around, making sure to stick it real nice on here. And I'm just putting this on quickly, so it's not going to be perfect here. But take it, put that on, and then bam, buckle it in. And there you go. There's your battle belt setup, just like that. Got all your stuff on here. Yeah, your pouches back here. And yeah, this is the battle belt setup. So now, right here, I can run an extra magazine. You know, I got tourniquet, med kit. We'll go into more depth about what's on this battle belt setup. But that's essentially how you put it on. And then this battle belt has a quick release buckle here. So you just push them and it comes on done. And then obviously you can snap it in there, but you can do it one-handed even. I say that and now it doesn't want to work. There we go. Anyways, so yeah, and then when you take it off, you just peel it off like that. And then your inner belt, you just take it, you undo it. Unpeel it from itself and then just pull it through. So that's how that works. Yeah, and I'm kind of give you a little close up here of this buckling system. But most battle belts will have a similar system, but it just snaps in like that, and then you got two little tabs here that you push inward here, and it releases it, kind of like a seat belt or a a standard buckle. But yeah, so that's essentially how a battle belt setup works in simple terms. It's not much more complicated than that. So without further ado, we'll get into what's on this battle belt setup and the different prices of each component on here. All right, so I'm gonna leave all of the components that I have on here on for this video, but first we're gonna talk about the belt itself. So this is a Krydex belt. And yes, you can buy it off of Amazon. A lot of this stuff you can buy on Amazon. And before you bash gear off of Amazon, I would like to say that you can still find good quality stuff and good brands on Amazon. So yeah, so this is Krydex. I like the Krydex stuff because it's well made. It's made out of Cordura, which if you don't know what Cordura is, it's a durable nylon fabric that is used in a lot of different tactical brands. So even like Cry Precision and stuff like that, they use Cordura. So you know that it's going to be made out of good quality material. So yeah, so this is the Krydex belt. Kind of showed this a little bit already, but it's got the Velcro system on the inside here. Has a nice quick release buckle. I'm not exactly sure what buckle this is. If this is any sort of special buckle, I don't believe it is. They don't have it listed in their description. So, but yeah, this is just a nice quick release buckle here, as I've demonstrated, just like that. And then it's got some nice MOLLE on here. Like most battle belts, it's got the thinner strips here, so you can MOLLE whatever you want on here. It has this loop directly on the front that you can hang stuff off of. They say that you can, put a rig on this for, helicopter operations, but I don't know. It's just stitched in there, so I don't know how much I actually trust it. Obviously, I haven't tested that out because I'm not doing helicopter operations, and yeah. One thing I'll say too is that a lot of people will run, the system to do helicopter operations and clip in. Most people aren't going to be doing that, so it's kind of not something that's necessary, because I don't think many times a lot of people are finding themselves doing helicopter operations, unless of course you are in the military and that's what you do. That's your job. But as much as people like to be high speed and want to be like special forces and those guys, most of us aren't doing that. So that's why I'm not running that on this setup. So yeah, so this is a Krydex belt. I really like it. It's nice, good quality. This runs about $52, and You can find it, like I said, on Amazon. I don't believe, no, it doesn't have a tag, but yeah. So when you're picking this out, you just want to make sure you get the right size, obviously. And the size you're going to want is to make sure that you have the most MOLLE all the way around your waist. Obviously, that way, you can obviously have the most amount of areas to attach different equipment to. It does come with an extra strip, and I could probably put that extra strip on here maybe. But yeah, just check their sizing charts if you do decide to buy this belt, and just make sure that you have as much MOLLE all the way around you as possible. Like I said, this is a $52 belt, so at this price point and this build quality, I think it's a really good choice for a budget battle belt setup. Next, we'll go right around. So next, right here, this is also Krydex. This is a glove hanger. And essentially this just kind of, at least the way I have it set up, is that it just loops. I have a loop through the MOLLE here to keep this in place from wiggling around. And then it essentially just Velcros onto the back side here, just like that. So it just Velcros right there in place. And then you can hang your gloves off of that. This is only like 10 bucks, so I think that this is a really nice piece of equipment. You could just run a standard carabiner off of here, that works too. But I think having a nice dedicated piece of equipment for hanging your gloves off is a really nice option as well. I'm not including the gloves in this pricing of this battle belt just because I don't know what you're gonna run for gloves. These are just some Mechanics Fast Fit gloves. This is kind of my go-to gloves. I really love these. And this is in their OCP color or multicam, sorry. But yeah, that's just what gloves I have on here. This is usually what I run as the Fast Fit gloves for most of the stuff that I do within the Army. But yeah, this is nice. And as you'll see, everything on here is multicam. But yeah, this is $10. So yeah, it's a nice thing to have on your belt. Now next, I have a tourniquet holder, and this is by S-Tac. The thing I'll say about this is this is $20. You can probably find cheaper options out there, but S-Tac it's a really good brand. They make really good products, and I like this setup. It's just an elastic kind of band that goes all the way around. You just slip your tourniquet inside there, and then you can just pull it out whenever you need it, just like that. But it keeps it nice and sturdy in there, so you don't really have to worry about it pulling out. And that's what I run next on this battle belt setup. And as you can see, it's got Velcro on the back side here, so it just kind of overlaps on itself, and that Velcro right there holds it in place. So I just have it wrapped around the belt. I do believe, maybe no. I believe it's just a Velcro on here. But yeah, so I just have it wrapped around the inside of the belt, and it's got like its own like hook section here on the inside, so this piece won't interfere with the inner belt portion, so this will stick onto it as well, which is nice to help keep that belt in place as much as possible. And same with this here, it's also on the glove hanger, it's got the loop portion of the Velcro on it as well. So that's what I run here next. It's always nice to have an extra tourniquet on you. And yeah, this S-Tac tourniquet holder runs about $20. It's really good quality. I like it. So that's what I run for a tourniquet holder on this battle belt setup. Next is my IFAK. I believe an IFAK is like maybe not a necessity on your battle belt, depending on what you're doing exactly. But I think that it's probably like one of the most common pieces of equipment to have on a battle belt setup. So yeah, if you saw my previous video, this is the IFAK that I went over in that video. So I'm not going to go into depth of what's in this IFAK or anything, and I'm not going to include all the components in here as part of this battle belt setup either. just because depending on how you build your IFAK is going to, completely adjust whatever the price for this whole setup is going to be. But yeah, so this IFAK is a Krydex IFAK as well. Yes, it is a clone. I went over that in the previous video that I uploaded, but it is still really good quality. It's made out of Cordura, just like most of the other pieces of equipment on here. And it's got this tab on the inside that's Velcroed in there. And then essentially when you need to use it, you just pull that tab and it opens it up. And then it just folds away in here and stows away real nice. So it's not getting caught on anything. Just like that. And yeah, it's just got a nice elastic, band here that goes over it. And I run this directly at the back, and that's like the most common place to carry your IFAK on a battle belt setup is right on your back here. So that's what I do. And yeah, this is a nice IFAK. If you want to see more in depth of what's in here and more about this pouch, check out the previous video I uploaded where I go over this thing completely. So next on here, I have a dump pouch, and I believe a dump pouch is also something that's nice to have on your battle belt setup, because essentially, you can open this, you can throw empty magazines in it or other things that you might find as you're doing your operations or whatever you're doing. It's just pretty much exactly what it's called. It's a dump pouch, so you can just dump stuff in there, right? This one is by PTAC, and this is about $20, I believe, as well. So it's a nice dump pouch. You just pull that up like that, and then this can act as kind of a cover to go over it, but it just comes open just like that. It's a nice mesh setup here. And yeah, so essentially, you can just throw all your stuff in here, whatever it may be that you need to throw in there. It's got a nice little bungee system here, so you can cinch it up, to help keep it closed, and then you can just release it like that. And then whenever you don't need it, you can fold it up real nice. And just kind of fold the bottom here like that. I'm just gonna do a quick job here, and then I fold the sides in, kind of deal. And then you just fold it up again like that. And then it just Velcros over, just like that. And now it's stowed away for whenever you need to use it next. But yeah, this is a nice, good quality dump pouch. Again, it runs you about $20. There's not much else to it. But I believe that this is a really good dump pouch for the cost. And now next on here, the last and final piece of this battle belt setup that I have is a spare magazine holder for your standard 5.56 magazine. So this is from HRT Tactical. They make really good products. This mag pouch is about $25. And honestly, it's about one of the best magazine holders that I've found for that price range. Obviously, there's other options out there, and you can probably find cheaper options as well. But again, kind of like in my previous video, what I said is that this is the best budget setup, in my opinion, not the cheapest. So yes, there's going to be cheaper products out there on the market, but I want you guys, and I want myself, to still get quality, right? Because tactical gear needs to be rigid and needs to be able to withstand a lot. So I don't want a piece of equipment that's just going to break after the first time I use it. So this HRT Tactical mag pouch is really, really nice. It's got that, I'm not exactly sure on the material off the top of my head, but it's got those plastic MOLLE loops here to go, loops here to go through your MOLLE. So it makes it really sturdy and really solid. And it just kind of, it's got like this system on the back here where instead of it buckling in, or not buckling, snapping in with like a button, or sliding back up in, kind of like how this dump pouch is. It like loops through and then hooks onto itself essentially onto the plastic. So it makes it really, really solid. And the way that this works is it's got this nice little plastic like clip in here, and it's got like a bump. I don't know if you probably can't really see it, but it's got like a little hump in there that essentially holds the magazine in place real nice. So yeah, this is a nice magazine holder. This is also made out of Cordura, and it's by HRT Tactical. Runs about $25. And it's a really, really nice piece of equipment. HRT Tactical makes really nice stuff. So yeah, I highly suggest this magazine pouch. All right, so next I'm gonna talk kind of about why I have it set up this way and different configurations that you can do for your battle belt. So battle belt setups are very, very mission like dependent. You'll see a lot of guys on YouTube and a lot of people out there on the internet. They run their battle belt setups kind of basically the same way, like all of them. They have an IFAK. They have usually they'll have a pistol holster on their dominant hand, and then they have an extra pouch for magazine for your primary, your rifle, usually 5.56 magazine. And then they'll usually also carry some pistol mags as well for that sidearm. Usually they'll run a dump pouch as well. What's less common is a glove hanger and an extra tourniquet holder. I have seen that on some battle belt setups before, but I feel like it's less common. But yeah, again, it's very mission dependent, right? So you kind of got to think about what you're doing, what you're going to find yourself doing, and really tailor your battle belt setup to that specifically. So the way that I have this set up is a very like general purpose setup, right? So this isn't like a super specialized battle belt setup. It's more geared to like general purpose and kind of what I do within the military. So that's why I'm not running a sidearm or like a holster for a pistol or anything, because like I don't run with a sidearm in the military or anything. So I don't have one on here, because to me it doesn't make sense for me to have a pistol holster and then throw this on when I'm out in the field and I never have a pistol. That just doesn't make sense. So that's why I don't have a pistol holster, but I have a glove hanger because I like to hang my gloves on me somewhere when I'm out in the field, just so when I take them off, I don't have to just hold them in my hand. And then I have an extra tourniquet on here because it's always nice to have an extra tourniquet on you somewhere. So actually when I'm running like full kit and I have my plate carrier on and I have this battle belt setup on, I'm actually running 3 tourniquets total. I'm probably going to end up reconfiguring my plate carrier setup a little bit for the military, so that may change, but it probably won't. I'll probably keep 3 tourniquets on me regardless, just because it's always nice to have an extra tourniquet for 2. So that's why I have the extra tourniquet holder on here, and I'm running that. And then I have an IFAK. Again, most battle belt setups run an IFAK. I think it's really nice to have your IFAK on your battle belt. You can run it on your plate carrier, like on the side. That's what I used to do, is run it like here on my plate carrier. But I've switched over to the battle belt now where it's in the back, and I kind of like it because it kind of keeps it, in like out of the way. So like if you're doing stuff with your arm back here, you're not hitting it or anything. It's nice and back here, and obviously still easily accessible for you, or if somebody else needs to get to it as well. So I run that directly at the back of the battle belt setup. So it sits right here at like the small of my back, or essentially like right, at the bottom of your spine here. So I would say that an IFAK is kind of a must-have on a battle belt setup. And then next, I'm running a dump pouch on this setup because I think a dump pouch is nice, just because you can throw whatever extra gear you need or you find, or empty magazines in there. So I think that's nice as well. And then again, I'm just running an extra mag pouch here that I can just easily access. And when you're setting this up too, you got to keep in mind what hand you're dominant with, right? So I'm right-handed, so I have my mag pouch on my left side because when you're holding your weapon, you want to keep your, whatever hand you have that you shoot with on that weapon at all times. So when I'm reloading, right, I keep this hand on, whether I have it shoulder or whether I have it here, and I can take that, I can release the magazine, take it out, put it in my plate carrier or whatever I need to do with it, but then I have it on the left side here and I can reload. So that's why I do that. And yeah, so just keep that in mind when you're setting this up as well. But like I said, battle belts they're very mission oriented. And when I say mission, I mean like whatever you are doing, right? So if you're in the military, you have a job, right? So like for me, what I do currently is 12 Bravo. So I'm a combat engineer. So what I do is, as a combat engineer, is going to be a lot different than what, like, maybe a civilian who's preparing for some sort of shift situation is going to be doing. So that's why I have this set up as like kind of a general setup, right? Because as a combat engineer, I'm not running a sidearm, and I just have kind of some more general stuff that I would more likely use on this battle belt setup. But if you're a civilian and you're just setting this up for some sort of shift situation, or some other type of situation, you can set it up to whatever you would like, right? But keep in mind that like I said earlier, like most of us aren't going to be rappelling out of helicopters or anything like that. Even if you think you're going to, if that's what you want to put on here, by all means, set it up to be something like that. But for the most part, if that's not like a specific job that you're doing, then you probably don't need to set your battle belt up to rappel out of helicopters or anything. For a civilian, I say that this is a great setup as well. Maybe if you want to run a sidearm, you could do that. Again, that's pretty common for people to run some sort of sidearm. And if I only have one battle belt setup right now, and this is it. Maybe down the road, if I get another setup, I'll run a sidearm just for like my personal, collection or my personal setup. But for this, I have it specifically set up for what I do in the military. So this is a great setup for me. But yeah, this setup is about $150 in total, which is really not that bad. There's plenty of belts alone on the market that are $150 or more. So I think for this setup, this whole setup only being $150, that's a really good deal. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the configuration of how I have this set up, and why I have these pieces of equipment on this battle belt itself. All right, so that kind of concludes today's video. This is, in my opinion, the best budget battle belt setup. And maybe you want to do this a little differently than I have, but by all means go ahead. It's your battle belt setup, right? So again, tailor this to your specific needs and what you're going to find yourself doing. And one thing to make sure of is to not overload this belt on like one specific side. So don't put like all of your gear on one side, because then it's going to be lopsided, right? So yeah, so make sure to not do that. I highly suggest all of the pieces of equipment that I have on here. I'll put links down in the description for most of this, at least. So you can just click on that link and it'll bring you directly to the listing for these products. And yes, they will probably be affiliate links. But you know, so if you want to help support me in producing these videos, I would appreciate it. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it. But yeah, so tailor it to your specific needs. Don't overload it. I will say one thing though, that if I was going to add something else onto this belt, I'd probably add some sort of like spot for a knife, maybe even like a punch dagger. I would put that on here as well. That would be something nice to have on here. You could run multi-tool, flashlight, whatever you want to put on this. And it's nice to put your gear on here because then it takes it off of your plate carrier or your chest rig, whatever you might be running, so it takes some of that weight off your shoulders. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you like this setup, and I hope that maybe you found some new gear that you could pick up, or you know, some brands or that are, you know, budget friendly. And yeah, thank you for watching today's video. If you want to see more content like this in the future, let me know down below in the comments. I love this type of stuff. So, and this is what I do in the military, and some of the stuff that I wear. So I love doing this. I love making videos about it. So just let me know about some future ideas that you might want to see in the future, some other pieces of equipment that you'd like to see me make videos on. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.